Hey guys, I hope this is working. This is a rather complicated setup. I'm gonna try to show you some of the things you can do with your Grandmeister 36 in case you haven't tried to discover what it can do with Midi, which is pretty freaking crazy. So to understand Midi, obviously we have to understand what Midi is. What? Huh? I hope you can hear me. I'm recording with my little Roland thing because I'm working in Cubase to show you the Midi functions, which means I can't record in Cubase. Yeah. Midi. Obviously, it can switch presets with Midi. And that means it can receive 1 out of 128 program changes and react to them. And that is actually really fairly simple. Now, you have to give it a Midi channel. Right now, it reacts to every Midi channel. But if you want to define it because you have more devices in your Midi chain, you're going to have to give it 1 out of the 16 channels, otherwise it will react to everything you're sending to the other devices. So in this case, it's actually fairly simple on how to do that. I'm an idiot. No, you don't push these. You push noise gate and FX loop. That's what you push. Idiot. Idiot! So now, you can see that there's no channel selected, and the channel LEDs in binary will give you your Midi channel. So if I'm going up, that is Midi channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and off is off. Okay, well, 60 Midi channels, and with FX loop you can go down, and you can pick which Midi channel it will react to. And there's of course a list which you see on the screen here. So I'm going to set it to off again, or Omni. How to get out of here? Here we go. So that's pretty simple. Obviously, if you're using your Footswitch that you can buy for it, it's very simple. Once you changed any settings, let's say I'm going to lead, whatever settings I pick here, then you simply hit store, and you go select a bank, select ABCD. As soon as it's hitting, as you're sending that information, it's going to store it to that preset right here. Now if you're using anything else, it simply is on Midi learn, which means as soon as it's getting a Midi program change, it will respond to that, which we're going to try. Right here I have Midi program change 3 on the ES8. See, it's flickering, and now I'm going to switch to this. If I go back to 1, it should go back to my lead sound. There you go, it's that simple. So it will react to the Midi program changes you're sending to it. If I want that sound be saved on program change 78, all I do is send 78 to it. So let's check out how we're going to do program changes with the ES8. I'm going to go to number 3. You see there's nothing happening on number 3. I'm going to make myself a new sound right here. Ultra with reverb and delay. Okay? So I'm going to hit edit, patch, and on that patch I'm going to go to Midi 1. It's my first Midi message I'm sending. You're hitting enter, and then you say channel. I pick 1. Right now it shouldn't matter because it's on Omni. You're ignoring LSB and MSB. It's totally stupid that it's there. Program change, let's say 42, because 42 is a good number. So it's going to give me that sound on program change 42 on patch number 3. So now it's very important that you skip to the right and kill continuous controller, because the ES8 has those continuous controllers always on 80 and 81. So go and kill them and make them off. You hit right. So wait, it sent the wrong thing. I'm going to do this again. Gonna go here. So now if I'm skipping here, Now on number 42, it will give me that ultra sound with a little bit of reverb and delay. So I have my clean, my lead, and on number 3, sending number 42, it's giving me the ultra. Very simple. But there's more. Now let's try this. Let's go again from lead to clean to ultra, which would be, let me check. Number 2 is program change 1, so we want to go exit. I got a 1. So 2, 1, 42. Those are the program changes we're sending, which should be lead, clean, and ultra. Just something we can easily see on the front panel, okay? So in my Cubase setup, I already made a track that's called Grandmeister. And when you go in here, down here in the lane, you can see that we have a lane that says program change. So I go to what MIDI signal I'm going to send. The output I have configured here is the output on my little keyboard. I'm simply going from the ES8 into that keyboard and out in there. So it's just sending it through, but I can measure what's going on in Cubase. So right here, I pick program change. And what did we want? 2, 1, 42. So I'm going to create. Hello? Here we go. Hello? So here I'm going to make a program change number 2. Which is a very, very tiny number you can see under program change. It's very tiny, sadly. Come on, 2. Yes. 2, and of course it's below the window I picked. Let me see. Come on, this is too difficult. Here we go. There you go. So number 2, number 1, and here we're going to go number 42. You can already hear it clicking. So, if I now run the sequence, it should switch in that order. Hey, was that really 42? Ah, it's removed by 1. Ah, careful guys. The Grandmeister is working from 1 to 128, no 0. Cubase is probably doing zeros. Let me see. No, it's not. Then I do not know what's happening. Oh. Can that thing do 0? We'll find out. There's something off by 1. But you get the general idea that program changes can be sent. Now, program changes, pretty straightforward. And why would you send program changes from your sequencer software? That's kind of, kind of stupid. How cool would it be if I could control my gain? If I could... Of course this isn't recording. Of course it isn't recording. Well, hopefully this is recording. Then we're just gonna go with the audio up there. Of course this wasn't recording. What the crap? And now it is. I don't know how to handle my gear. Damn it. Where was I? Yes. How cool would it be if I could handle my gain, but with a expression pedal? It's actually relatively simple. Gonna go to get out of here. Let's do clean. No, we're actually gonna go here. Number 4. I'm gonna show you something. There is this continuous controller list, which you're gonna see on the screen right here. Now, what is a continuous controller? Well, that is simply a different MIDI command. It's not a program change. It's a different MIDI command called a continuous controller. There are 128 available, and each company picks their own uses. Now, there's a list in the manual that shows you the different options on the Grandmeister 36 and what continuous controller you have to send to it. Now, what we just did, the channel select, is if you look at channel switching, it's continuous controller 31. So how do you do this? Let's first check out in Cubase how it's done. It says it is in 4 stages, meaning obviously there's only 4 channels, so from 0 to 30 or something, somewhere around there, you're selecting clean, and then in 4 different stages. So right here, there's already a couple of continuous controllers selected. The main ones, main volume, breath. Is main volume actually being used? Let's say, hey, 7, volume. There you go. 1 is modulation intensity, because usually 1 is modulation. So the ones that all the devices kind of share are already in here. But I selected 31. If you want to add a new one, let's see what might we want to do. Delay feedback. Oh, sorry. Delay feedback is, what is that? 27. So I want to add a new one. I go to settings. It's probably very small here, but you pretty much pick 27 right there. You add it, and now it's in my list of available controllers. There's number 27. Right now we're going to do 31 because we can easily see it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say that should be my clean channel. Kind of around here should be my crunch channel. Kind of around here should be my lead channel. And then here should be ultra. Let's see if that's actually true. So if I run this, it should go through the lights. And it's doing exactly that. So yes, that is controllable with a MIDI continuous controller. Now, I'm just picking that value because it's something that on the front panel we can actually easily see without me having to, play and you hear it. But we're going to do this too. Now, on the ES8, I would do simply this. I'm on patch number 4 right here. I'm going to go to Control Expression. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Expression 1, which is where this expression pedal is plugged in, and I'm going to disconnect it from its function. So simply meaning off. Now it's not doing anything other than what I assigned to it. So now we're going to go to Assign 1. I'm telling it to be on so that it's actually working. My source is my expression pedal. The category I want is MIDI. Channel 1 is fine, it's Omni. And I want 31 to do what we just did. Min-max is good, we're going to get to that. So at the bottom we have 0, at the top we have 127. I'm writing this. So while I'm on patch 4, check this out. My expression pedal can do this. How cool is that? I can actually select my channel with the expression pedal, which is of course a stupid function, but it's about the general idea. So I could, of course, record this now, hypothetically. And there you go, and I can play it back. Just for visual feedback. Now, obviously, that can be volume, that can be delay time, that can be delay feedback, it can be anything you want. Now, could I program this thing so that while I'm doing my expression, it's actually doing the opposite? Well, yes, I can. I'm going back to assign, and it's all for patch 4, that's what you have to remember. And we're still on 31. I'm simply going to set my minimum to be 127 and my maximum to be 0. Now, if I'm at the bottom, I'm going to be on the ultra, and at the top, meaning toe position, I'm going to be on the clean. I'm going to write this. So yes, at the bottom, heel position, I'm at ultra, and as I increase, I'm decreasing the channels. What that means is, the ES8 can actually have how many assigns? Let me check. 12 different assigns. That's crazy. That means while I use my expression pedal, I could tell this thing, increase my gain, decrease my treble in this range from here to here, while you're increasing reverb and delay something. Yes, that is actually possible. And we're gonna try this just with gain. What? Let's try this. I'm gonna have to erase this here. So let's see what gain is. 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 20 to my list of controllers so we can see it. And down here, instead of program change, I want to see, what was 27? Delay feedback. So we're going to increase gain while decreasing delay feedback. That's what I want to do. Okay, we're going to make this really nice and big so we really get this. So 20 and 27. But obviously, I don't want to increase gain from 0 to 127. I want it kind of in the middle. Let's say I'm going to start at 40. To 110. Okay? So my gain was 20. I really hope this audio is being picked up. Continuous controller 20. Cool. Now I'm going to do assign number 2. Going to turn it on. Going to make it my expression. Going to make it Midi. Going to go to 27. And I want to decrease my delay feedback. I want to start when I'm at the very bottom at a good 100. Let's go 95. And I want to go down to 10. Good. Right. So hypothetically, that's the thing, you can't see anything right now. Okay? Because obviously the knobs don't turn. So we're going to make this visible in Cubase. Okay, we can clearly see that this is my delay feedback, and in the range that I defined. Oh, what was the other one? 20. There we go. So you can clearly see this, the top row would be my gain. Very clearly capped the way that I defined it. I can't believe it's actually working. This is crazy. When do things on the ES8 work? And at the bottom, you can see that I've narrowed the range of my delay feedback, and they are going against each other. Now imagine there's 12 assigns. That means you can actually do 12 different parameters on the Grandmeister. Control, you can morph between two complete different sounds, including, if you were crazy enough, changing channels. You can control the noise gate. You can even control by MIDI the reduction in the back, the power soak, which I don't know if you would want to do this. You can turn on and off the boost, the effects loop, you can be turned on and off, all this, but obviously something like this makes more sense. And we're gonna see if I can actually record this. No, I can't record it. We're gonna have to actually use the speakers for this. I'm sorry. Because I'm using Cubase, so I apologize for the camera audio. Let's see. So I have to have some delay level for us to hear this. So let's see if we can actually hear this being played back. So there's very little delay and a good dose of gain. Why is my delay time not working? I'm an idiot. Because they have to be on FX axis. Delay level and delay time. So there's a lot of feedback. And less feedback but more gain. And let's write some of that just for fun. That's not working because I actually have to erase this. So there, if I'm going to play now, I could program my Grandmeister 36 ahead of time in my sequencer program to do certain swells or whatever I want to do before I record. Yeah, that's totally crazy. I could go into many more examples, obviously. As I said, you can do volume delay. Anything you can control other than the master volume, I think, can be controlled with Midi. Which means, if you have something like the ES8 that can reroute your expression pedal, you have expression control over anything on the front panel. You could, if you don't want to use an expression pedal, in a studio situation, actually control this thing from your sequencer. You could have control, which is crazy. You know those little keyboards that have the little knobs on top? I have one of those. Right now mine actually says, continuous controller 20. That's crazy. If I'm going to turn this now, 20 was my gain. Let's try this. I'm gonna twiddle this camera over there. This one says 20. Let's see what happens. Yes, it's working. The gain is at 0. How cool is that? You could actually have control over your amp from your keyboard. Put the amp somewhere. Program your keyboard to have your main controls of the amp right there. I know that 21 is bass, so I have bass control now. Oh, bass all the way up. Bass all the way down. So yeah, program your keyboard to be the front panel of your amp, if you want it so. Whether you're using an ES8 or any kind of device that can reroute your MIDI signals, whether you're doing this from a keyboard or from your sequencer software, there are definitely a lot of options for you available of using the MIDI functions of the Grandmeister 36. And all that you have to do is realize that a continuous controller is just a number assigned to a function. And as long as you have this piece of paper, finding out what it is super simple. You look up the number, pick the right MIDI channel, how to set it up I showed you stupidly, and that's it. So that's it from me. I'm gonna change the setup now so I can actually do stuff. Bye bye, you crazy MIDI amp people. See ya. Never been like this, to live in a state of